So let f be a function defined by f of x equals 1 minus 2 sine x for x is less than or equal to 0, and f of x equals e to the minus 4x for x is greater than 0. The two questions are express f prime of x as a piecewise defined function and find the value of x where f prime of x is equal to 3. And the second question is find the average value of f on the interval -1 to 1. Okay, so for the first part of the question, you need to obviously find f prime of x. F prime of x is equal to -2 cosine of x for x is less than or equal to 0, which you get by taking the derivative of this. The derivative of sine is cosine, and derivative of, you can factor out the constant -2 and you get -2 cosine of x. But really, you can just plug them in the calculator. That's not the point of the question. And then f prime of x, when x is greater than 0, is equal to -4 e to the minus 4x. So this would usually be easy if you knew which one included -3 in their output value. But since you don't, you have to think about the fact that cosine is its range only goes from -1 to 1 of y values, and then when you multiply by -2, the range then is now -2 to 2. So you know that f prime of x, when it's equal to -3, is not in the -2 cosine of x part, but instead in the -4 e to the minus 4x part of the piecewise. So I mean, now that you know that, it's pretty cool to solve, pretty easy to solve. You put -4 e to the minus 4x, set that equal to -3. You divide both sides by -4, you get e to the minus 4x equals 3/4. Take the natural log of both sides, and you get -4x equals natural log of 3/4, and then obviously divide -4 by both sides and get x equals natural log of 3/4 over -4. So that's the answer for the first part. The second part, you're trying to find the average value of f for the interval of -1 to 1. The way that you find the average value is taking the area over that interval and dividing it by the width, or the width. So the area of this function is the integral from -1 to 1 of f of x times 1 over the range, which is 1 minus -1, so that's just 1/2. So then you do 1/2, and since it's a piecewise, you have to take the two, you can split it into the two integrals. From -1 to 0, the function is 1 minus 2x, so that's the integral from 0 to 1, or from -1 to 0, and then you add that, to the integral of e to the minus 4x, which is the second part of the piecewise when x is greater than 0, and you do that from 0 to 1, and you get the total area of f of x between -1 and 1, and you multiply that by 1/2 to get the average value of f. And this is just the integral of this function, and you want to evaluate that from -1 to 0 at -1 to 0, and add that to the integral of f of x when x is greater than 0. Evaluate that at 0 and 1, and since I do not have a calculator with me, or not, well, I know the answer, but whatever. It ends up simplifying to 1/2 13/4 minus 2 cosine -1 minus e to the -4 over 4. That's the average